In this episode, we're going to talk about everyone's favorite company.
Yay!
Yeah, we're talking about Tamashii Nations. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
We're talking about McFarlane Toys.
Oh, man.
Now,
I thought we were going to
Yeah,
talk about
McFarlane-
something good today.
Oh, shots
Well, I
fired,
guess that
shots fired.
It feels like the full Dookie Super Saiyan Goku.
And I want to learn more. And more! And more!
Oh yeah, it's the champ. Let's go. Welcome back to the Plastic Power Podcast. Woo! It is I, champ. I'm back. Hello. I know everyone probably missed me. Maybe you didn't. I don't know. But anyway, I am back. And in this episode today, we have Daredevil 19 from Hell's Kitchen.
Well, I would hope so. He's basically the guy who's always has to be here.
And the smartass below me is Starblast Studio.
Without me, we can't record these episodes. But yeah, yes, I'm being smartass. Alrighty. Yeah, what's going on, guys?
Smart aleck.
Yeah,
It's okay. We all love each other in this one.
Of course, absolutely. Bro fist,
Yes.
bring it.
Bro fist. There you go.
Okay,
Oh,
whatever.
which way? I don't know. Yeah.
Champ, you're like
yeah.
down over here. Bring it down over.
You know, I'm just
here.
gonna bro fist
Champ,
the camera. How about
Champ,
that? I'm
go
just
to your
fisting
left. Go to your left, champ.
my
Yeah,
this left.
there you go.
This left.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I'll just bring it up because I'm the beneath. So like, champ,
Okay,
yours
look
would be
so
like down,
stupid.
like to the corner. Like
So
what
then
you
now,
do.
okay. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. We're doing stupid stuff.
Stupid stuff.
But anyway, in this episode, we're gonna talk about everyone's favorite company.
Yay!
Yeah, we're talking about Tamashii Nations. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
We're talking about McFarlane Toys.
Oh man,
Now,
I thought we were gonna
Yeah,
talk about
McFarlane-
something good today.
Oh, shots
Well, I
fired,
guess that
shots fired.
I guess that just depends in general on like whatever line from Tamashii Nations you're talking about.
That is
Yeah.
true.
Mhm.
Let's hope
But,
they turn that around this year.
I know
But go
that.
ahead.
Yeah, no, you go. But I know that I think Sean, you collect some more McFarlane, right? You've
Not
collected
as
some
much
McFarlane,
anymore. I think the last one I got was Blue Beetle. But
Yeah.
I mainly go with like if he makes like Spawn stuff because there's no other companies that make Spawn because he hogs it all because
Yeah.
it's his own property he created.
Yeah, so McFarlane's been, he's been pulling some very interesting controversial
Ooh.
Get to
he's
the
been
point.
I'm trying to get what I'm trying to say is that he's been raising prices on his figures. I was trying to say it in a very
specific
interesting manner,
ones,
but you
mainly.
gotta speed me up. But
Yeah.
anyway, he's raising prices on certain figures. There's a new wave coming out. This was I
Crisis
saw
on
this on
Infinite
Instagram like a
Earth.
couple of weeks ago. Yeah, Infinite Earths, Crisis on Infinite Earths,
Yeah.
I believe. And each figure is going to be $40. It's going to be a build a wave. And
What's the difference between this and a regular release, though, champ? The gold label stuff.
oh yeah, it's the gold label stuff.
But that's
be honest,
the
like-
only difference.
Yeah, it honestly ticks me off because a lot of people are not happy about this
Yeah.
price increase with these figures, and
Some
because
people don't care too. They're like, "Who
Yeah.
cares?"
for me, I think I'm done collecting McFarlane, to be honest.
Ooh.
Heesh, I know you don't collect any McFarlane stuff.
That line is beneath me.
But basically, it's like 7-inch DC figures, Batman, Superman. He also makes like Mortal Kombat. He makes
Yeah.
anime stuff like My Hero, Demon Slayer. They're all 7-inch figures, but they have horrible articulation.
See,
and
I knew it
he
was
does-
beneath
the
me.
paint
Some
scheme is terrible.
points, some points aren't bad, but his issue is he uses ratchet joints on pretty much every joint, and it's like, bro, you
Yeah.
don't need to do that with every joint. If it's like a big figure like Man-Bat or Bane, then yeah, put the ratchet joints on the ankles. But when he does that with every figure, it makes it so difficult and annoying trying to get them to stand flat-footed. You gotta kind of like move their legs around, bend a knee because the foot
Actually, let me
just
get some
clicks,
examples
you know?
right now. I got some right below down here. So
That's
we got the
something that
Heath Ledger
annoys
Joker.
the hell out of me. He's got him, the
And
ratchety
I think
ratchets.
actually, well,
How big is that
You know what they
knife?
are? It's like we've said this
Wait.
multiple times. A lot of times, like the McFarlane figures are like statues with articulation.
it basically is like
That's
you have
what
the
he
Heath
wants
Ledger
them to
one.
be. But hold on.
Yeah, that knife is pretty huge.
When the hell did he have a knife that big in the movie? That's
He
another
didn't.
thing.
This is from the. Let me try to grab this.
Oh, so
but
he
it's from the
didn't-
Mortal Kombat Joker.
Okay, I thought he included
Yeah.
that with Joker. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
he never used like a butcher knife. All right.
Because this Heath Ledger Joker didn't come with anything but just a pile of
anything.
money.
That's
He didn't come with anything. No accessories.
That's
No
another.
accessories.
What was it, like plastic, or was it
It
like
w-
a cutout?
No, it was. What was that?
Like a cutout from the like.
It was a pile of money. No, it was like a pile of money and it was like a base basically. So it was a pile of money and a base, and
But
it
it's
came with
like-
a cord. The stupid collectible cards that he always throws in there.
That's
I don't know why.
another huge issue with this line. If he does give you accessories, it's like things you don't even want. Like, why give that? The hell's that?
That they're one of the cards, but he puts it on like a stand. Like,
Oh,
look
so
how
now
fancy
he's
it is.
including those stands with the cards.
He's been doing that since I think last year, I believe.
Because he thinks
but
that's what
it's-
people want over actual like interchangeable hands or head sculpts.
Like he does give interchangeable hands,
Yeah,
but like
sometimes,
there's
yeah.
not much you can do with it.
Yeah.
Like you don't have enough accessories, and if you wanted, it's like I don't really blame Todd McFarlane for the accessories for not having like guns and stuff like that. I blame
do.
that mostly on what?
I'm saying
Yeah,
I do.
I think that's like
keep going.
that's a DC thing.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
DC what they've done with all of their lines. Like
Yeah.
so, I blame them more because he does have like a ammunition pack where it comes with all these guns and stuff. I think it's like 15.
But
guns,
ultimately, it
McFarlane
doesn't
Toys,
excuse
but
the
it's
fact that he's not making anything useful to actually be included
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
accessories. It's like you can still include stuff like with a bunch of these figures. I mean, if you're going to go with if you're gonna make a Batman figure, make a battering, make a grappling
And like
hook.
Yeah.
Be like,
the
or-
scaling between these figures is so. Look at that.
Yeah, that's
Like,
another thing. His
granted, this
scaling's
is
so
the
bad.
Rebirth Batman, the comic Batman, Heath Ledger, but like still, you want Batman to be a little bit
Yeah, but-
taller.
Yeah,
I
I
believe
can
it-
excuse that though. I mean, it's two different. I mean, it's two different depictions and such of characters. Heath Ledger.
No,
could
but
have
if
been
you
taller.
have like, I believe the Bale Batman's shorter than him. Let me try.
Actually, let me go see. I can.
Yeah,
I can
look up
get
a-
it. Hold on.
Oh, you have it. Okay, yeah. So his scaling is all over the place, though. It's doesn't make people happy. It is really all over the place.
I got my Batmans.
All right. Oh, from the
But like,
six-pack?
here's the Christian Bale one, which surprisingly enough,
Hmm.
he's coming out with another exclusive. This time with a Christian Bale head, but well, I mean, they're
About
about
the same height. Okay, I mean
That's-
that's not
that's
too
to-
bad.
that's
All right,
tolerable.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
But
And it's like it's a hit and a miss. Like mostly with the Batman figures. Like okay, so here's the Hush one. This one like recently came out. It's like it's pretty good, but it's
Yeah.
too tall. If you have a Superman figure, Batman's like taller than Superman, and Superman has a hunched neck that's like this.
yeah, they can't get. I don't know what the hell he's thinking with that. Like their first Superman, they gave him open hands, right? And then they gave him gripping hands, but they're trigger.
Yeah, they're like-
they're trigger finger.
Yeah, they're kind of like
hands.
gripping hands, basically.
Yeah, but he has.
but-
They had trigger fingers. Like, when does Superman ever use a gun or need a gun? So that I always thought was odd. I think that was the first Superman he ever did.
You do if you're playing him in Fortnite.
Maybe that's what he was going for.
It's the guy from Fortnite. But like, it's this has been a conversation we've been wanting to have on the podcast for a while. I know me and
Yeah.
Sean more at it. I know you talked about McFarlane a little bit on your live stream. By the way, congrats on 50K.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
John.
Thank you. Thank you.
But like,
Thank you, fellas.
yeah, no problem. But like, it's like, why are you gonna raise the price? And a lot of people have been theorizing that he's kind of like testing the waters on like see if he can get away with like upping the price to $40 with these figures. But like, if you're gonna up the price, at least update the freaking quality. Like, I'm not expecting like import quality, but it's still, you know what? I take that back. No figure should be that expensive unless it is import quality, you know? Because these figures like aren't even that good. Like, I have like a lot of Batman and Superman because, hey, if I see Batman and Superman, I'm gonna buy it. You know, I buy what I like. But
Yeah. I mean, being a collector,
that's
it's like you see it and it's there and you're like, let me just buy it. That's what
because
happened with the
like
Blue Beetle with me.
yeah, like it's either I can buy this Batman for like $20 or buy the Mayfix one that's going up in price.
Now, the
They
interesting
did
thing
just
that
reissue it.
the thing that I noticed about it is that specifically when you look at the Crisis on Infinite Earth bundle set, they have
Yeah.
all of the figures and such. Like when you get the entire wave, it's discounted. So,
Yeah.
but it's like and it's clearly labeled like that to let people know like, hey, you can get this all on sale. Maybe I don't know if it was originally like that. I mean, it like at $135 for like all those 5 figures. But
Well, if you
still,
look,
it's
it
like,
was 160 and they crossed it off and did that.
but yeah, but
But
it's like
all,
sometimes they specifically do that just to make it seem like it
Yeah.
was like that, just to make it seem like you're getting a deal. You know,
exactly.
when that
All
was the original
retailers
intention.
do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
retailers do that all the time. Like, oh, this store's having a sale, but it's like, yeah, they mark
So
up their prices.
so my whole thing, so what I'm trying to get across is like, you know, so the deal, if you were to get like let's say if you were to get 3 of the figures, you're spending
Yeah.
like that's like $120. For you to get the five of the figures, like the entire wave, it's
Shit, it is.
$135. So it's
Yeah,
basically
yeah,
like
yeah.
it could be a case in which he's making more incentive for people to go ahead and purchase the entire wave. I personally don't feel like a lot of people will want to get the entire wave, especially because it's like I don't like is there even much incentive? Like there's no
Well,
like what's the build a figure that you get with this?
I think
it's that guy on the left in the bundle with the yellow boots and the pinkish
Oh, this dude.
face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
I'm
the
sorry. Hold on.
only
yeah,
I
the
need to take back everything I said. That
out of the 4 though, the only one that's sold out, the individual one is oh, what's his name? The Spectre. He's the only one that's sold out. But I mean, say you don't want like 2 of the figures, you know what I mean? I mean, for 4
yeah.
figures,
And get this, the Superman figure, which actually does kind of look cool, but is it worth $40? No, it comes
yeah.
with a cloth. I think that's actually a wired cape in there, I believe.
yeah,
It
it's the
has a
same thing
wired
with
cape.
Yeah,
the
I don't.
yes.
Is it wired though?
I think so.
I think
He
so.
hasn't really been using wire, but he has been
Yeah,
using
there's like
cloth here and
stitching
there.
on the cape, so I'm thinking there's wire in there. I'm
It's
pretty sure.
possible, but they also do that so it doesn't like fray at the end. They fold it over like that. Let me see. I'm reading to see if there's bendy wire in it. If there
It doesn't
isn't,
specify.
It
yeah, if
doesn't
it
say,
doesn't
but it looks like
say,
it does.
I don't think there is, to tell you the truth. I don't think he'd go that far.
True. That's he's not that smart to do that. but like
Yeah,
it just baffles me. And what's even crazy, it's like he has the rights to the animated Batman series, and he's releasing the DC collectible Batmans. And I don't know how much they cost before, but each figure costs $24.99, and their articulation sucks.
And they're smaller scale figures.
One thing I could
Yeah.
say about them though is he does include a lot of accessories with them. If you
A
look
lot
at
of
Batgirl,
accessories to hold nothing.
Two-Face. Well, Two-Face, yeah, just has a briefcase and he has a coin hand. Batman has the Batarang. Yeah,
He has
that
like
is true.
Batarang. He has the what do you call it? The grapple gun. He has a bunch of like different like pose like hands. Even one holding another grapple gun, which is kind of weird. Why would you sculpt a grapple gun inside the hand when you made an accessory? That's just
Maybe
okay.
the other one clips on to his belt. I don't know.
No, nothing
I'm just
clips
guessing.
onto the belts because it's basically just the ones that I have that he came. This one's the 4-pack basically, and like you can see he has a grapple gun on there, but it's sculpted in. And then this one is also sculpted in, so it's kind of weird. He has like individual. I don't know, but it I can't really fault McFarlane for that because this one is a DC collectibles, but this one was part of the McFarlane release.
Yeah,
So
didn't
I
he
don't
do
know.
one with like a Batmobile too or something?
Yes, that's something you can still purchase in Target and Walmart.
What was that? Like
No, I think it's Target only. I think it's
60?
Target's only.
What was that? Like $60 or something, or 50? I mean, that's not bad getting
I want to say
a
50. I want to say 50.
yeah, it's not
I
bad
want to
getting a
say 50
vehicle and a
bucks,
figure
but
for that price.
yeah, I was gonna get the Robin and Mr. Freeze, but to be honest, the cell shading and articulation is so crap. Mr. Freeze can't even. He doesn't even have any joint in his elbow. He's just like this.
What?
One little
Well, look,
articulation in the arm.
how bad was the BAF of Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mr. Freeze? That thing looks so bad. Like the silver looks so. It was just silverish looking plastic, and it just looks so cheap and bad. Heesh, what were you about to say?
I was gonna say it's like it reminds me of what we talked about when it comes to McFarlane in previous podcasts, and that's the fact that they haven't really done a lot to innovate the figures and such. You end up with the same exact
Yeah.
problems where it's a lot of the like they're not improving the articulation. A couple they do have good articulation. Like I'm looking at the Kid Flash. He seems to have a pretty decent, butterfly joint, along with that, and the pretty decent torso. I'm not sure how well it'll work, like when you actually use it, but yeah, it's like I think that are the hands. Let me ask you this: are the hands like all like the same sculpt? Because if a lot of the hands that they're including
Pretty
are like
much.
trigger hands and such, so okay, so it's basically them just reusing the sculpt and letting the actual guys who pick up the figures like have options for doing stuff with
But
the hands.
something I just found out on this Hush figure is that Batman, he has like detail like sculpting on his glove, like something like out of the Arkham games. Like if you ever look at Batman's the like very
and
detail
his
has and
suit
stuff.
doesn't have that.
And this one, like no, one hand has the sculpting, but the other one's just plain. It's weird.
Wait, yeah, it's like,
hold on,
come
let me see if
on,
I can.
why do cheap shit like that? You can't just make a new mold or something. But he does do a lot of shortcut BS things like that. Like every figure company has its hardcore fans, and a lot of them probably are just gonna disagree with us because they're hardcore fans of McFarlane, and that's fine. Everybody has their own opinions about stuff. I mean, this is just
Yeah.
our opinions about what's going on. But like,
I'm thankful that there's an alternate, was an alternate way to get Batman figures, because the only reason I jumped on McFarlane Toys was because of the Batman Beyond figures. I actually love those figures. I bought 3 of them. One of them I customized, but like I honestly love Batman Beyond, so I'm like, oh look, this McFarlane's got Batman Beyond toys. I'm gonna maybe invest some money into this line and see what he's got. But I've just starting to see the cracks, especially around when the Batman was coming out. And the sculpting and the faces for that, like Robin Pattinson, was terrible. Penguin just looked
I
off.
hated
And
his
the side eye.
arms.
The side eye. Don't get me started on the side eye.
I hated the
Oh
arms.
my god.
Oh man, I do not like the way he does arms. Like an example, look at the Robins I just sent in the chat.
I actually have those.
Yeah, I got the one on the right. But even the freeze, I want to show you guys the Arnold freeze that's above it. But this is the cheap shit that shortcut shit that they do. So the Robin, that's Tim Drake, yeah. So the Tim Drake Robin had the sleeves, and you could see right at the bicep there's a short sleeve. It's a short sleeve,
Yeah.
and they just painted the entire arm red. You couldn't like just shave that down, you know what I mean? And
which makes it odd, because I wasn't sure, like because the red and green one that came out recently. So
yeah, it was after
it bothered. It's weird because it's like it's like, was the green one and red one supposed to come out first, and then but like I don't know, it's weird. So
you
it's
know
like,
what it is? They're probably like, just leave the sleeves on, and then we could re-release it in the more classic Robin suit, which it looks much better with that classic Robin suit.
yeah.
But it's like, what? Why? That's the type of things I don't like that toy companies do. Like Hasbro sometimes does shit like this too. Don't get us wrong, but McFarlane I feel like is just going back to that Infinite Crisis on Earth line. Why make a gold label? Why? So you can up the price? And it's like, what's the point of doing that?
What does the
You
gold
know?
label thing even mean? It doesn't. It probably doesn't mean anything. It's just the thing.
It's just a random thing he did. Gold label. It'll be
Yeah, it's like different.
variations.
It's like
Yeah.
his way of having exclusives. It's not just like he'll put gold labels on like certain websites, like his website
You can only
McFarlane,
get them
or
at
you
Target
get
too.
Target,
Yeah.
Walmart.
Oh,
Like there'll be
Walmart has
store
them too?
exclusives. Sometimes, yeah, like the
Okay.
what was it, the
Um,
Black Flash?
maybe
It
it's
had like 3
specific
different
figures.
variants.
Okay, yeah, he'll make them
Yeah.
exclusive to like certain figures will be exclusive to certain stores.
And it won't be much of a change. It'd be like, oh, maybe one has a different head sculpt
Yeah.
or a different like paint app or something like that.
Yeah.
And he'll like charge a little bit more for it or something like that.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but it happens a little bit. Like the Hush Superman, they just not last year. I think it was
They did
earlier.
a blue and a black suit one, right? Yeah. Because you have the one
Yes,
in
I'm
the
also
black.
talking about when they had a Hush Superman where he had like the red eyes and he had the poison ivy vines on him with the green skin. That was
McFarlane
a
did that?
McFarlane. What was that?
Oh, that McFarlane. I didn't even realize he did that.
Yeah, that was a McFarlane exclusive.
Yeah.
And then he later re-released that same figure, but with just a normal head. But he kept the weird
Vines.
greenish like skin. Hey, I'll just get the damn figure.
It's like
Give me
when
a sec.
Poison Ivy had control over him. Yeah, he does this a lot. Like just like with those Robins. Like the Robin in the red, yellow, and black suit
Let's
was
talk about this one.
an exclusive to like Amazon or something. Oh, Superman. Why was I thinking Batman?
Yeah.
So they left his skin tone that color, but no, the other one has Poison Ivy's like ivies all over him and stuff, right?
Yeah, and he
So
has
he's just
like
got like
laser eyes.
greenish skin on him for no reason.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
he's under control of her, but doesn't have the Poison Ivy on
Bro,
him.
he just looks like he's got some kryptonite in his system, bro. Like someone shot him
Like-
with it, and it's running through his blood. He's like he's going sick because of it.
Yeah, like he has
And
a
don't-
Bizarro skin tone.
And another, oh my god, the ratchet
joints.
suck.
I don't know why he does that all the time. Maybe because he even did that when he was doing the Walking Dead figures, and those were 5-inch figures. Like, why do those need ratchet joints? Like, I even hated when Revoltech used to do that. They used to do those stupid ratchet joints. I mean, I don't know why he does them. I understand if it's a heavy figure and you got to put on like the ankle joints or something, but why do it on every single figure? I don't know why he loves doing that. Maybe to
Another thing I
prevent.
hate that he does is the wind effect for the capes. I'm like, just have a normal cape just hang down. Like,
Yeah, that's
why
another
does he
thing.
gotta
Yeah,
have this
yeah.
weird effect?
Like that's how both the Robins are. At least the more classic suit Robin isn't like that, but the other Robin, it's going off to, in the picture, it's to the right.
Also, I just want to point out that I didn't modify my Superman because his head was too low on his neck, so I had to raise it up. And
Oh,
with a
you
little
did
bit of
modify
sticky
it.
Yeah, I did. It looks a lot
Yeah.
better, but like still, it's like.
I mean,
McFarlane.
like when he made Shigaraki, that was a really good figure from My Hero Academia. Like some stuff that he makes, like isn't bad figures, especially for the price.
I actually, despite all of the scuff marks that was included on it, I really like the All Might figure. That was
Yeah, like that wasn't a
Oh, yeah.
bad figure either.
And plus,
but
it's like that figure got discounted too. Like I was able to get it for like $3 to $5 at GameStop. for
yeah,
some
and I
crazy
think that
deal that they had.
line's yeah, I think that line's dead now because they haven't announced or released anything new in it. I think he lost a lot of like not lost licenses, but nobody was buying. Like he had some balls trying to do anime stuff. To tell you the truth, with all the other type of anime figure lines out there, you really thought like I think I would rather buy like anime hero stuff. Well, I guess it depends, you know. He
Why
did,
Batman taller than Superman?
yeah. Oh, that's the Hush
But-
Batman too. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but like, yeah, the All Might figure is not bad, and the Endeavor,
Into what?
figure, I need to get that Endeavor. What is it?
Endeavor?
The flame
Oh,
guy.
Endeavor.
Endeavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's on discount. Like if you go to Ross, he's like $5-8 there. I might.
I
have to
didn't
go
really
get
like
him.
his Todoroki. He gave him like,
No, yeah,
yeah, I didn't
totally.
like the effects he gave him. The fire effect wasn't bad, but the ice effect I didn't really care for. But that I didn't really like. But what he does
Dude,
is
let's talk about his Deku. Oh my god.
oh yeah,
Oh my
let's not.
I
god, his
saw that figure,
Midoriya.
that like the Deku, I'm just like, I don't want it. Like the proportions are so
Yeah.
off, and then it's like the variants and such too that's included. It's like it doesn't compare to the import stuff in any way. It just looks so cheap.
Yeah,
Like the
Dude, have
sculpting
you
is
seen,
the sculpting you can
stuff?
say is cool, but it's just like how are you gonna articulate that stuff well? That's why I only
Yeah,
select a couple things that you got to get from it, like the
like
All Might figures.
I like some of his Spawn figures, um, but like give us some freaking alternate hands with him, bro. Come on, like none of them have fists. Why? That is like an essential set of
Another thing
accessories.
too is that
Hands,
the
fists.
certain hands that he does, like for instance, like this one, like if he does come with a hand that can hold something,
Yeah.
the hands are like really like
Yeah.
stiff, and it's like hard to like put things in them. Like the
Yeah.
Robin, the Tim Drake Robin, you try to get like the
Yeah.
staff in his hands, and it won't stay there. And
And
it's
his
like
go ahead.
no, it's just a pain to get in there, and it's like sometimes it'll warp the staff because like he has such like a
No, yeah, that happens with all the weapons because they're such a floppy like plastic.
yeah.
Yes, the swords, and it's like what the hell? Like when I got oh, I can't remember his name. He's like in a white suit. I think he's like an assassin. Him, and then when I got the night owl, not night owl. Ah, the owl from Batman.
Owlman?
From Batman. Court of Owls, dude. Talon. His
Oh,
swords are so like they're like gummy, you know? And it's like I understand them doing that, but it's like too soft of a plastic and they warp so easily. Oh, let's not even start with his holsters or sheaths. What the hell? So this is what he does.
Mhm.
He'll give you like half of a sheath. So I don't know why he does this. So you know how a sheath is like covered and there's the inside? So
Mhm.
say these other two sides, he just doesn't do one side on one. So you just see the complete sword.
You see the sword going through the other side of the sheath.
Yes.
What's the point of making a sheath if you're not gonna have
Yeah,
it
like
work properly?
so this is the vertical sheath and then one side's just not there. And it's like, why do that? Plus, if you had a proper sheath, it would help with the warpage, even though you could just use like hot water and try to bend it back. But still, why make a sheath like that, bro? I guess he does that to prevent paint scratching off or something, but still, why do a sheath like that? That's how talons were. That's how a few figures who have swords have sheaths like that, or the sheaths like that, Heesh, but then the one side, like half of it's cut down from like the middle down.
So it's
Like
just like
it's
a broken,
still,
so it's like
it's a
it's not even a
full,
full sword either.
it's a full sheath. Then the other sheath is like half. It's
Well,
so weird. It's so
they do
weird.
that on some figure arts, but they'll actually include a proper set in order to do it proper. Like for example, the first version of Trunks, they had like a part of a sword that goes into a sheath, and then an actual
Oh,
full sword.
no, I think he's talking about the sheath. Like
Yeah,
it's
Well, I know
example,
that.
yeah.
I know the sheath is like a half thing, but I know you're talking about the sword.
So,
Well, that part I understand. It's
so
just, I
when you
can't
put this
understand not
together,
having a full
it's
sheath.
yeah, like it's two parts, right? There's the
Mhm.
top and the bottom, and they glue it together. So some of them are just the bottom and the top part's just not there at all. Or it'll be the bottom part and then a little bit of the top and then chopped off from the rest down. So then you just see the blade of the sword throughout it. It's so weird. It's like,
I
what the I mean, that's getting bleeped. It's so odd. He just does these such odd choices for stuff, and it's like, why? Why do
It doesn't
that?
make any sense.
It doesn't. Yeah, and it's just
not only
he.
that, but some of his sculpts for figures are like a little bit inaccurate.
Oh yeah,
Like the Batman, Robin Pattinson Batman. Like he was missing some of his holsters for his like grapple guns or
that's
whatever. He was
right.
missing stuff,
That's right.
and I was like, what? And some
What
of the
was the
paint apps
other
weren't right.
issue? Wasn't his torso on backwards too, or like the lower part?
Yeah, the lower part was some people got like their parts like turned around for some reason.
Belly was in the back. Yeah. Kind of like how some of the SH Figure Arts Future Trunks figures were, but that you could easily do. McFarlane, you really got to like wrestle to pop that apart.
Yeah,
unless you
it's a
could
pain
spin
to
it.
take the figures apart. It's really a pain.
Yeah.
And it's also like some figures like I'm trying to think what else.
One thing I gotta give him though is I don't think I've ever had a break with his figures. So he does use decent quality plastic for the price.
True.
So that's a positive. Like I said, he is very good at sculpt detail, but he tries to focus too more on statue looks. So when you have
which is odd because like the like if he does live action characters, they look nothing like the actual live action actors.
Yeah,
like they look so derpy.
Yeah,
they look so derpy. I'm like, what?
He can't do. Yeah, they cannot do. Like NECA doesn't use that 3D print tech, but their face sculpts still at least resemble the actor or actress in a way. When McFarlane does it.
Like the Dark Knight ones, like these kind of work because one, Joker's in makeup, and then with Christian Bale Batman, it's kind of easier to do because he's in a cowl. But when he's doing like the whole like Bruce Wayne head, it just looks.
How about the first couple Ben Affleck Batmans and Henry Cavill? Oh my God, those were so bad. I think he got better with the Ben Affleck ones. I don't know if he made any more Henry Cavill ones, but they did not look like them at all. And maybe
even the Flash movie or the Aquaman's that's out right now.
Oh yeah, the first Aquaman. Oh God, yeah. Even the new one doesn't really look good. And Jason Momoa does not have like one of those difficult faces to sculpt like Chris Evans. Some actors I understand they have like such a basic looking face like Chris Evans that it's hard to capture in figure form, but someone like Jason Momoa, plus you have the beard to cover up like half his face. But he's not that good when it comes to the like live action actors faces when it comes to figures. But he did get better with Ben Affleck. I don't know how good like Val Kilmer or George Clooney is. Like the Arnold Schwarzenegger one looks good. If you look in the chat, you can see the figure. But then you could also see how bad his silver was supposed to be. It's just like a gray plastic. But that looks just like Arnold.
And made it look more shiny. Like it sucks too because it's a Build-A-Figure as well. And I'm like, listen, I know this is gonna be a hot take, but I actually like this design of Mr. Freeze. But I'm not gonna buy the whole wave just to build him. Like because you have to buy Robin, Batman, I think. Batgirl, and then Poison Ivy.
I actually agree with you. Like it was like the movie was crap, but the design was pretty cool. It's just shame the direction of it.
But the best part of that Build-A-Figure is just the damn head sculpt.
Yeah.
Let's kick some ice.
Yeah, it's like a lot of stuff he just throws out for the hell of it. And I understand you're a big toy company, you need to make your money, but you got like I used to buy his figures pretty decently. I rarely pick them up now.
You know what? I know exactly what we need to do. We need to actually, because oftentimes he would make figures and such that's comparable to that would be on like rivaling with imports with certain things, or just look at DC Icons or Marvel Legends. These are the types of companies that are like actually have somewhat mastered their craft. Marvel Legends will still have problems. I'm not gonna say, you know what? I shouldn't even say that they've mastered their craft with Marvel Legends, but they at the very least, they have different problems than McFarlane, but it doesn't make it to where
Marvel Legends.
Marvel Legends. I don't feel like the problems are as annoying as what we seem to be seeing here occasionally with McFarlane, or often with McFarlane. You know, at the very least, you can, when you get like a figure, even if it's like the same sculpt or whatever as another thing, it's like it's a repeated sculpt, like they would still have consistent articulation a good majority of the time, and like up to the standard that they have set. Whereas McFarlane, he's kind of all over the place. There's not really a lot of consistency with the figure, and that's because it goes back to what we were saying earlier, is that they do the sculpting of the statue first and then add in the articulation. That's where we run into the issues.
Yeah.
I kind of see how that why that works, but because of the fact that you don't engineer the figure and put any thought into the articulation before making the sculpt, you end up with a figure that isn't really as good of a figure. It's like it's supposed to be an action figure. You're supposed to want to pose it. If you're not able to do that type of thing, you're not doing the figure as well. It's not that hard to understand. So that's why a good majority of the time with some other figures, you would get more consistent articulation if the figure doesn't wear baggy clothing or have a lot of crazy stuff in the way. So for example, that Superman figure that you have, it seems like it can articulate fairly well, but that's because he's wearing a skin tight suit. Whatever.
It's not a bad figure. I mean, the paint apps on his skin is it's not the best. And this body, I know that we use this was it 2.0 Superman body? It's basically the rebirth Superman body, but I like it. It's not too a lot of people say he's a little bit too big, but I don't mind it. The articulation on it is not bad. He does have some toe articulation. He's got the
there you go
right there.
Marvel Legends doesn't do that enough.
Yeah, and you can get him at a flight pose, and so there is some playability, and you know what, it's not that bad of a figure, but I will say that he does need to improve on the paint job and give us a better I know there's the DC Action Comics 1000 or something like that Superman, and I think he had a re-release with a 2-pack. I might get that, but it's just all his figures have some sort of problem, and it mostly stems with the ratchet joints or just the pricing for little to no accessories, or just
that's the biggest
scaling
thing.
Or paint apps. That's the biggest negatives I can say about his figures. But I mean, I still enjoy these, Batman and Superman. I just wish they're not perfect. I just wish he could do better.
There's more potential that could be in these figures at the price point that they're at that could be tapped into.
Exactly.
He's just not doing it.
Yes. Thank you.
They still feel like older figures and such, despite the fact that they're more recent.
Yeah.
His movie Black Adam was a fantastic figure. That was a really good figure, actually. He does have some stuff where he does a good job, and that Black Adam had alternate hands, and he also had the lightning effects. So it's all right.
Didn't one come with a throne? I thought
that was a different one. Yeah, but I think that's all he came with was just the throne, and the price was up a little bit, which I understand because he came with a throne. But
Alexa, don't you dare interrupt me while I'm recording a
podcast. She had something to say about McFarlane Toys.
She said take out the trash, and I'm like, are you talking about these?
Oh, damn. But Todd McFarlane, back in the 90s, he was ahead of his time. But now in modern times, I feel like he's behind on times now.
He's stuck in the past right now.
That's what I think too. And another thing with him is he thinks he knows everything, I mean, it's cool to be confident, but not when you're not doing the things that collectors really do want. To me, I feel like one of his biggest things is the accessories issue. If you ever look at his promo images, even Black Series has difficulties too trying to show you different posing and displaying options. McFarlane Toys struggles with that with promo pics. Look at Figure Arts, Marvel Legends, NECA. They show you all these different, not just display, but posing options, then display options with all different accessories. But you don't see that with McFarlane Toys.
Let me ask you something. This will be interesting. So when we go to MegaCon and McFarlane just happens to be there, even though he's not on the guest list, what do we do?
More accessories.
Walk up to him and give him a what? No,
he chose violence that morning.
I hereby represent the fan base of the McFarlane Toys, and I want to say, it's time to go. No, I'm just saying, no, I'll be just I do appreciate that he's made the Batman. I want him to make more Superman figures, though. I want more Superman figures.
I mean, he's definitely making a lot of
Batman.
Superman. I mean, it's just like the problem's that it's gold label $40 now, and
Yeah,
such.
that one does look pretty good too, but you just have an extra set of hands plus the BAF, but you couldn't have thrown in like an alternate head for each one too. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna up them to that
If
price.
you want an alternate head, you have to buy an entirely different figure. You have to buy another figure that just like is.
They also did make a post that they said it was only for like gold label. The regular figures won't be that price. All right, understandable, but why raise this set up that much? And
Because they were trying to test the waters and trying to freaking
exactly
raise the price.
But then they also said you have a coupon code and get 10% off, so then it kind of comes out to retail. But then you're not counting in shipping and fees.
The math ain't math.
It still comes out to $40.
Do you remember this, like from like a couple years ago, that when they started making digital figures?
Yeah, let's talk about this too. No, like some of them just released.
Yeah, and
Like,
there's like you get the figure, and then you get this code. You're apparently able to get this figure when you're in the metaverse. I'm not sure how well that's
weird.
like the metaverse has kind of died out, and so that really isn't working.
I know there's like a new Wonder Woman figure that came out, which it took McFarlane this long to release a classic comic book Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But like, I think it's one of those figures that does have the code, and you'd be like, look, I have the physical and the digital copy. What,
yeah, but it's like
owning DVDs. Like, what is this?
You know what I think McFarlane.
You can literally in the metaverse take like 3D models, shape and like make them smaller however you want. Like you don't need an.
I want to give
figure.
Wonder Woman a
Bro,
big
when you're in
ass
the metaverse,
and big boobs.
you don't need to have your figures have articulation points. It just moves on its own. And I know this because of VR chat. VR, like if you just VR chat's literally the perfect.
I could see some fun with that. Like if you import the model and like be able to use that like through Blender or something like that, that'd be kind of cool. Like you can make some animations with that. But like, it's just weird that that's a thing. You know what I'm saying? When you buy a figure,
if you're gonna make animations with something like that, I mean, I guess that would be interesting. You know, it's an easier way for people to get like models without having to pay like, I don't know, like a good chunk of money for something for these models online. There's a lot of free to use stuff either way on it. But like, yeah, to get a figure, you can. I feel like at that point you can, if you're someone who's talented enough already in order to be able to animate and do that type of stuff, you're probably talented to be able to make your own sort of mold with like in Blender. Actually, as a matter of fact, never mind, I take that back. You can already somewhat scan an item in something like with like a phone. There's like this app that can, I've seen it online. It's like this app that can do it. You just get like a 360 shot of it, and then it transfers that thing that you're scanning into an actual model that you can throw into Blender. So you don't need that type of thing with the figures anyways. You have a free app that's available for it.
That's pretty cool. I think I've seen someone do that before on Instagram. They used like the Marvel Legends Spider-Man, and they were able to make a fight scene, but it wasn't stop motion. It was like 3D.
Yeah, I saw that. It blends really well. Like I thought it was stop motion at first. Like, how does he make it move like that? And then he's like, it's 3D. Actually, I think that's his name. Make it move media.
Make it move. Yeah, I think that might be him.
That's probably what McFarlane thought, that he was getting ahead of the curve and heading into the future with these digital figures. But
I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve.
I'm just ahead of the curve. You know, this is the thing that I think is associated oftentimes with McFarlane, and it's like it's oftentimes when people look at his history, they like to look at his the psychology behind it. When you look at everything that Todd McFarlane had done, like during his time making art at Marvel, where he made that amazing Spider-Man thing that was like totally different from all of the other workers over there. Like he basically changed the art and made the art like some of the most famous art for Spider-Man, the most well known.
And Venom. Didn't he make Venom? No.
Yeah, I believe so. Venom,
right?
And then known for Spawn, and I think he made something else. I don't remember what. I forget. But yeah, anyway, he should go ahead. I lost my train of thought. Go ahead.
So essentially, from the success that he had gathered from the change that he was able to make at that time, and then him working at DC like as an artist over there, and then eventually going and doing his own thing. He became like he started
Image
making his own
Comics.
comic company, Image Comics. Then like eventually also spent $3 million on a baseball so that he can eventually use that as a means to like talk to the companies and end up making like these baseball lines of figures. And yes, he did that. And then it caused like some other problems because they're asking, wait, hold on, you're spending $3 million on a baseball. Why don't you pay us better? For the licenses and such for these characters that you had us make for you for in the Spawn comics.
Yeah.
And so
At least he didn't spend 50,000 on has-been hotel softcore porn.
He did.
I feel like that's a reference to something. I'm gonna ignore that.
Yeah.
Listen, the thing is that
what happened with the show?
McFarlane.
Wait.
This is what I think a lot of people, when you understand the history, this is where I feel like a lot of people land with, is that because of all the success that McFarlane has received, in his past, nowadays he feels like he can just do things his own way and then it works.
Yeah.
Whereas because it's like this mentality that he's gotten at, like, doing things his way at that point in time, where it did work then, it doesn't work now because he's no longer in that same position. I feel like as a consumer of product, you know exactly what you want, whereas McFarlane now, he's not the consumer of the product, he's the guy who's putting out the product. He's not looking at things from that same sort of value that the figures had, and so you end up with this situation in which the figures don't hold up to modern times because he still is going with that sort of old mentality. And I think that what the company needs, you can still call it McFarlane Toys, but I think that you should have some other people help, like, sort of working and making the decisions over there to try to lead the company in a better direction, or just like work with McFarlane. You can't have an ego, I think, in terms of business, like for like to like without a good you have to have backing for like all of the decisions that you make, not because it's gonna work because I feel like it's going to work. You have to have a reason.
Like, he does have a team, and they do try to tell him what collectors want, but he'll be like, no, that won't work. They want this. So he does stuff like that, which is like, I mean, they're trying to
Another thing
help you out, man.
Another thing too is like, I can't even think of any other DC, like, how like Dragon Ball, for instance, has like multiple like different lines. We got like Tamashii Nations, you have Dragon Stars, Figure Eyes,
Irwin Toys,
but with
Jack Pacific.
you have all these different toy lines, and then
the Mexican bootlegs.
Okay. But like
Those
with
are
DC,
classic.
it's like what we had, like what before? There was McFarlane, then what?
DC Collectibles, Mattel. Mattel was a big one. I think Kenner used to make the old ones too.
Yeah, Kenner. But like now it's just like I think what kids have like Imaginext, and then what adults have is McFarlane. We don't really have another DC toy line, so
unless
McFarlane's all we got.
Yeah, unless you bring imports in, Mayflex.
Yeah. But then who wants to spend over like $100 for one figure? Mayflex.
Just like how there's hardcore McFarlane Toys collectors, there are some hardcore Mayflex ones.
Yeah, that's true. Mayflex does
Every
have
figure line has
quality figures, so I guess it is. And I know I've seen like the Batman Superman. It comes with like a wide variety of accessories, and I know they're coming out, or it's already out. A Riddler, I believe, a Hush Riddler.
Yeah, you want it for pre-order. It didn't release yet. I think Poison Ivy was the last one that released. She looked alright.
Okay, but yeah, like other than imports, we don't really have another company making.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say Mason Yamaguchi now is doing Arkham Knight show.
An import.
Yeah.
That's so like I know Amazing Yamaguchi's made some great stuff, like their Flash figures, like reversing Flash, like they have like the lightning bolts coming out of the eyes, like you can like that looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
But probably should wrap this up because I already see he's.
I was about to say that. Yeah, I don't want to say anything. Okay. Anyways, let us know what you guys think about McFarlane down in the comment section below. I know that there's a lot of other vast amount of different opinions and thoughts that you guys might have. We definitely want to make a conversation. So yeah, leave a comment. That's the best way to interact with us. And also, before we close out this episode, we have to read a comment from the previous episode. Just making sure we do that.
Make
'Cause
sure
we
it's
got-
the guy who did like 5 comments.
Let's
You know
see.
what I'm
Let's
talking
see.
about?
I
I
don't
think
know.
it was the episode you and me did, the Dragon Ball figure arts one. He did like 5 comments or 6 or something.
By the way, Heesh, when I was talking about the Has-Been Hotel reference, there was you know what's his name? Cartoon Beatbox or whatever, the guy who like makes like animations of cartoons beatboxing or rapping against each other.
I've heard. I think I remember
The
something
one
like
that goes,
yeah.
"I am Vegeta, you're not Vegeta." That guy who like Vegeta versus like Shadow or whatever. Well, apparently he like paid animators $50,000 to make his own little
core
musical video of one of the main characters from Has-Been Hotel to like be a yandere and chase him and try to have sex with him and stuff like that. It was leaked. It was a big thing. Yeah, look it up. But anyway, we're getting sidetracked.
So
read that comment.
basically, I'm gonna animated recreation. He's the guy who left 5 different comments.
Yeah.
So basically, this is the one I like the most. It's like, I think the reason Broly's hair is blue is because his power is being suppressed by the crown. Notice that in Broly's second coming, his hair is yellow and there's no crown. That makes sense. I actually think that and plus it's like with it glowing those sort of colors. I kind of had a similar impression too. Like
his father was suppressing his full potential.
Yeah. Plus it's like, now that I think about it, I remember in the flashback when he was like when Broly was like, sort of going crazy, like before Paragus forced the crown onto him, his hair was yellow in that. It was
in the Z?
Yeah, Z Broly.
Like when he was
We're talking about Z Broly, like, because the crown. We're asking. Yeah, so I'm saying in the flashback of that first movie, so like when you see Paragus like trying to get a hold of him, Broly's going crazy as a Super Saiyan as a kid, and his hair is clearly yellow. And as a baby, I think at one time it was so that does make sense. I think the crown does have something to do with it. I never thought of that, so that's a really good comment.
It probably was suppressing it, and it was trying to like transform. Well, he was trying to, and his hair was trying to change color, but the jewel or whatever he used to hold back his power was suppressing it and holding it back. So that's probably why it was that tealish color.
Exactly. That's a cool thing. All right, guys.
Thanks for all those comments too.
Yeah, absolutely. Love the reception that we got in the last video.
Yeah.
All right.
We had a nice chunk of accessories. A nice chunk of comments in there. Accessories.
By the way, I saw that last episode you guys recorded without me. I just want to put my little quick top 5 figures I want real quick. I'm just going to speed run it. Number 1, Videl, great saleswoman. Just saying, we should have her.
Okay.
Farmer with a shotgun. We need to have him. I'm just saying, most important character. We also need Bulma, a new Bulma. I think
which
maybe
version?
from Dragon Ball Super.
Version?
Maybe superheroes. Maybe superheroes in the yellow jumpsuit, with a fat ass and everything.
Okay.
We definitely need though a Dragon Ball Super Yamcha in the martial arts gi, and we definitely need a Bojack Trunks and at least a 2.0 or 3.0 Gohan, Teen Gohan or Super Saiyan 2.
See, everything I can agree with you. Like I can only agree with you on those 2 figures. The rest I'm just like, what are you talking about? I know they're meme choices.
We do need a Videl though. I think we do need a Videl.
I can see you being a Videl, but I'm not like, it's not like an immediate thing that I must have. Like, oh my gosh, Videl. Like, no, I'll give me future Gohan first.
We were going by like all the like the
movies.
No, comments I see people request the most. But I mean, there's also just basic obvious ones that people have been wanting. Janemba, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the Trunks from BoJack, the future Gohan. But yeah, I was going through Tamashi's Instagram, and I would see who people constantly request.
God.
Yeah.
Well, those are my figures anyway. So anyway.
All right, let's
guys. Yes, we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Take care. Bye-bye.
I don't know where he was going. See ya.
So let's skedaddle. I was skedaddling out of here. Thanks for listening to our podcast episode.
If you're on YouTube and have watched the video,
then thank you for watching as well. We are your hosts,
Starblast Studios,
Champ Animation,
and me,
Daredevil 19.
And if you enjoyed our episode on Spotify, be sure to give us a follow and rating.
You can also leave us a comment on Spotify in the Q&A.
And we do thank you if you do. And if you did watch this on YouTube, be sure to give us a like if you liked it and a subscribe-a-roo if you enjoyed it. And we will catch you on the next episode of the Plastic Power Podcast.